What is going on, guys? Snickel here, and today I have another trophy talk for you. This is going to be for the week of October 25th, 2020, and it has been quite an interesting and enjoyable week with games that I've been playing and that I plan on playing, and I've been playing things that I just wasn't even expecting to play and kind of been blowing me away. But anyway, we'll get into that when we get into the games. But anyway, I want to talk about what I've been playing over the past few weeks. Now, one thing that I'm going to change up with these videos to make it a little more enjoyable when it comes to the actual games is, instead of me just kind of talking about the game that I've been playing and progress that I've been making, which, obviously I want to talk about, I do want to kind of give you my, thoughts on the game, as of right now and what I've been thinking of the games, just so it gives a little bit of summary. So if you see something that maybe interests you that I've been playing, I can kind of give you a quick synopsis of what my thoughts are at the moment with what I've been playing through. So anyway, with that being said, starting off, we have Mafia Definitive Edition, which I did finish up and get the platinum for. I'm very grateful for this game. It really made me want to make trophy guides and collectible guides more, which is something that I've been kind of going back and forth with, whether I want to do it or whether I don't want to do it. And I think I've kind of just come to the conclusion that I do want to continue to make, trophy guides and collectible. I never wanted to stop making collectible guides, but I was kind of on the fence with trophy guides. So playing this game just really made me say, yeah, I really, really want to keep making them because I do enjoy it. I really do. I enjoy helping people, and that's really my main reason behind why I enjoy making them, is I just really enjoy helping people. So what I had to do to finish up the game, or to finish up the platinum, I believe from last week, was just to do a few, or finish up the collectibles, which there can be a decent amount of collectibles in the game. I believe there's around 167 or something like that collectibles throughout everything that you have to do. And then I had to do a few various things in the in free roam related to the police that I don't really have to do in free roam, but it just makes it easier. So I really, really enjoyed the game. There are some aspects of it that definitely kind of pissed me off to extents, but there's not much that Hangar 13 could do, deviating from the original game. Just a few of those things are things like, how you're introduced into the Mafia and how just fast everything seems to happen, which I totally get, because if you had to actually have that, that build-up period between, you going from nothing to something, it would be kind of boring, but I do think that it could have been implemented. But like I said, the narrative side of this game could not really be touched too much because that was already determined. They were just doing stuff visually. So I can't really hit it too much there, but there's just a few things like that were kind of irritating. Now, one thing that I do want to talk about, and this is kind of, I guess, a controversial topic when it comes to games like this, and when I say games like this, I'm talking about remakes of games, not remasters, but remakes, are these games really, do they make sense? I guess is the big question. Do they make sense? Because, does it make sense for Hangar 13 and 2K to put in time, money, resources into remaking Mafia 1 as more of a fan service, because only really the fans are going to play this game? The amount of people that are going to play this game that have never played a Mafia game before is going to be slim to none, right? So it's more of a fan service more than anything. Or does it make sense to kind of put those resources in and start working on Mafia 4 or whatever the next Mafia game is going to be? I'm assuming it's going to be Mafia 4. So that's where you kind of have this fine line of what kind of makes sense. Because me personally, I love that they remade this game, and remakes I think are great in instances where you are going from I don't want to say a bad game, but if you compared the way that Mafia 1 played to the Mafia 1 remake this game, it's going to be, night and day different. The narrative is again the same, but it's the way that it plays that's different, which one thing that I will say that makes sense when it comes down to it with, remakes, is you're not really spending any resources or time on things like narrative, so you don't need people to sit there and create a story for you. Now, one thing that was nice is I think that there was a few things that were tweaked in this remake that were, interesting. Um, but you don't have to spend all those resources on the narrative side of the game because the narrative is already there. You're just rehauling what it physically looks like and what it physically plays like. But do these remakes really make sense at the end of the day? Now, with the PS5 coming out next month, which, by the way, I will not be getting a PS5 day one because I wasn't fortunate enough to get a code or any of that other, bullshit. But I really don't care. I'll get it within the first few months that it's out. I'm not really sweating over it. With the PS5 coming out, one of the launch games that's going to be coming out for it is Demon's Souls, and it's the Demon's Souls remake. So, there's going to be a remake coming out on the PS5. There was another game that came out, I think a few years ago that was quite well received, which is Shadow of the Colossus. And it's just like, I just sit there and I think, like, do these games actually deserve, true remakes? I mean, yes, you're going to be getting the upgrade to higher frame rate and better resolution and possibly better resolution, I guess, with all the new technology of new systems and new hardware and all that. Like, I totally understand that. But for, like, Shadow of the Colossus, the game was already, like, quote unquote remade on the PS3, I'm pretty sure. And then it was remade on the PS4. I'm trying to remember because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Shadow of the Colossus was kind of like an older game. Then on the PS4, on the PS3, Ico and Shadow of the Colossus kind of came out as like a remaster-ish, and then it was remade again on the PlayStation 4. Correct me if I'm wrong there because I'm not like super into that, but that game was remade between the PS3 and PS4. It was remade regardless of when it originally came out. It was remade in between those time periods, and it's the same thing as Demon's Souls. It's going to be completely remade from the ground up, I'm assuming, visually. Obviously, the narrative isn't going to be changing, or in Shadow of the Colossus, the narrative wasn't rechanged. It was just visually, it was kind of recreated. So does it make sense for a company like Hangar 13 to do that? Or does it make sense for an external company like Bluepoint to do it, which that's all that they do? I mean, again, that comes down to decisions that the companies want to make, if it makes sense for them. I think that it does make sense to remake games because you can kind of use the time that it takes to... Let's take Mafia for instance, because I really like the game. While they were developing the narrative side for the next Mafia game, Hangar 13 could have been working on, remaking this game, the visuals and the way that it plays. So I think it provides that little bit of buffer, which is nice, because it does really annoy me when like a company will like work on the narrative and then create the world and then kind of take a step back when they have to do something with the narrative. It kind of feels like wasted time. So I think it does make sense to kind of put the people that create the worlds to, just remake a game, while the narrative team, I think nailing down the narrative is like a great first step for a game. If you can nail a narrative down, you can build the world and levels and everything around that narrative. That's better than building the world and then building the narrative around the world. I feel like it can go both ways, but I feel like having the narrative there first is definitely more important, especially when you're fully creating the world. You're not recreating, New York City or something like that. You're creating a whole world. So, yeah, that's just my little Mafia Definitive Edition rant, but I did, again, really enjoy the game. If you guys haven't picked it up, I would highly suggest picking it up. I'm probably going to end up doubling up on it at some point. I don't know when, but at some point I'll probably double up and play it again because I really enjoyed it. And if you guys don't know, for me personally, to play through a game and do guides on it, the first time, and then to play back through again and not have to do guides is two different experiences for me. So when I double up on a game, I'm getting those two different experiences, which I kind of like. So maybe at some point, not anytime soon, but maybe at some point I will be doubling up on Mafia Definitive Edition. So then up next we have Duke Nukem 3D Megaton Edition. So this is a story. So this game is actually delisted from the PSN store. I'm pretty sure I've said this before. It's probably from a trophy list perspective, it's probably one of the worst Duke Nukem games. It's all of the original Duke Nukem game with a few DLCs down here at the bottom, and then it also has multiplayer trophies as well. So it's definitely quite interesting. So I was able to finish up the multiplayer way back in 2018, I believe. I was able to finish up everything else, all the other levels last week. So the last thing that I actually have to get the 100% is just this trophy, Duke's Mighty Foot, which is to step on 40 enemies after using the Shrinker on them. Pretty sure there's a place to kind of farm that. I'll do that on stream at some point. If you guys haven't followed me and you want to watch me do stuff like this game or any other game, you can follow me. There's a link down to my Twitch down in the description below. So this has just been interesting. Basically, this is like the same as like the Duke Nukem 20th anniversary edition. This game right here, it's basically the same game except it's on the PS3. It has no platinum and it has multiplayer trophies. So yeah, that's basically the difference. So it's all around just not a game that you should kind of be looking at. So we won't talk about that one for too long. Let me take a drink real quick. And then last but not least, I want to talk... Oh, before I go over the last game that I've been playing this week, another game that I put a little bit more time into in the past few weeks has been Tomb Raider on the PS3. I've been going on there and level grinding. I believe I'm up to around level 50, so I only have around 10 more levels to get done with that game. And it's just coming along. It's just a process. I'm not too worried. The game isn't like going down anytime soon. I'm just trying to do some PS3 multiplayer games, and that was one that came up because I can do it by myself. I've done everything else, so I'm just level grinding and trying to get that done. So that's just a process. Hopefully that'll be done sooner rather than later. But a game that has taken all of my time in the past week, which I'm not mad of, is Ghost of Tsushima. So not the Friday that just passed, the Friday before, I believe, Ghost of Tsushima had an update. And to be fair, I didn't think anything of it at the time. I remember months ago they were talking about they were going to add this co-op mode and they were going to add all this and all that, and I was like, awesome. Was I really expecting trophies from it? No, not really. So anyway, the update came out, the trophies came out on PSN profiles, which of course one of the trophies is a New Game Plus trophy, which is to just complete Jin's journey on New Game Plus. There's also something from purchasing something from a vendor in New Game Plus that's only in New Game Plus, so that's pretty cool. So I did start playing New Game Plus last night. I'm basically just, more or less blowing through the game. You're able to skip cutscenes and you're able to, you just have everything, so you're kind of overpowered. So I've kind of just been going through the game, typically when I played through the game before, I was playing through very methodically. I was doing full regions of the game. I was going and liberating things. I was finding collectibles. On New Game Plus, none of that really matters. I mean, you can do it, but none of it really matters. So I'm kind of just playing through the game again to just play through and get the trophy. I could wait until the PS5 comes out and then do backwards compatibility for it, but I don't know. I just really don't want to do that. So, it is what it is. Maybe at some point, but I just want to get this trophy done at this point. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. The big thing that I want to talk about that I've been playing for the past week is Ghost of Tsushima Legends mode, which I was not expecting to be as good as it was or as fun as it is. So basically, it's like it is a co-op, it is co-op Ghost of Tsushima. It's an online version for Ghost of Tsushima, online mode for Ghost of Tsushima. Now, it's not the full map like co-op, you can do missions and stuff. No, you're at like a menu, and then when you're at the menu, you can search for, there's like story missions. I believe there's like 8 or 10 story missions that have 3 tiers to them, which are bronze, silver, gold. And then you have 4 survival maps, same thing, bronze, silver, gold. Then you have challenge mode, challenge missions, which are just like weekly story missions or survival missions, and then the raid, which hasn't come out yet. So when I heard raid, I was like, what? Raid? What are you talking about? So the other thing that the game has when it comes to like leveling and everything, so there is like a leveling system. You have to get there's 4 roles in the game. So there's 4 different characters you can play as, and you basically have to get each one of those to rank 20. That's what one of the trophies is, so that's really nothing at the end of the day. But when I heard raid, I was like, wait. Raid. Are we talking about like a Destiny raid? And it turns out that the equipment system kind of works similar to Destiny, but not the same. So Destiny obviously didn't, invent the system that they have. This has obviously been used on other games, but they've kind of like made it very mainstream, I guess you could say. Not really. I mean, other games have done it, but it's just the biggest game recently that I can think of that I put a lot of time into that did it. But basically, you have gear. The gear has levels. It has different statistics to it. It has, special moves. There's different tiers of gear. So it kind of gives off that little bit of a Destiny vibe. But the good thing is, you really don't have to grind too hard for anything at all. And you do just have to get lucky. It is RNG to get like certain drops. So there's no like quests to get this weapon or quests to get that weapon. Everything's kind of dropped. But yeah. I did not think that it would have something like this, but again, I'm not complaining because I think that it's, it's worked in great and there's like no problems with it at all. The leveling, getting your first character to level 20 is definitely going to take some time, but once you get one to level 20, you can switch your gear through all of your characters. So unlike Destiny, where like if you have one gun and you have to switch it from character to character to character, in Ghost of Tsushima, if you have one sword, each one of your 4 players can use that sword at the same time. So that makes it super easy. And basically, you can have a rank 1 character with, a 100 gear score. So it's actually really interesting. And I'm actually, like I said, I'm completely blown away with how well developed it is. Like, there isn't that much content, obviously. There's only a few story missions. Like I said, a handful of story missions, handful of survival modes. You do have like weekly missions that will drop the highest tier gear. If you play on gold, you'll get up to like a certain drop on gear. There's like legendary items, which are basically like exotics from Destiny, where you can only have one equipped on you at a time, unless you change something in a skill tree that allows you to have 2 equipped on you. So it's actually a really cool concept, and I've been having a blast playing it. I've been playing it basically all week, trying to get all of my characters to rank 20 and getting good gear, because the raid didn't come out yet. So there's 3 chapters to the raid, and I don't know if all 3 chapters of the raid are dropping this Friday, but this Friday something being part of the raid is going to drop. I don't know if it's going to be just chapter 1 or if it's going to be all 3. They haven't really hinted at that. Sucker Punch hasn't, so I'm actually really looking forward to it. I have gear and I'm ready basically for the raid. There's a few things that I could do that I will probably play through this week and try to level up a few more things. But all in all, I'm ready for the raid, and this just kind of blew me away. Like, I knew it was coming and everything. It was hinted at months ago, but it's honestly blown me away how much fun it is, because the game in and of itself is fun, and this co-op takes nothing away from that. There's barely any like network issues or anything at all. Like it's honestly ironed out so well, and I'm, like I said, I'm completely blown away. So that's what I've been putting basically all of my time into the past week when it comes down to it. So that's what I've been playing in the past, few weeks. Let me get a drink. We have to stay hydrated around here. So I guess the big question is, what do I plan on playing in the upcoming week? So I kind of hinted at it, but I do want to get through Ghost of Tsushima New Game Plus. I'm about a third of the way through, and I started last night, and I really have only played for maybe 2 to 3 hours. So I don't see it taking me any more than 10 to 15 hours to get through it. That's like super high, 15. I'm thinking it'll take more around 10 hours to get through the game, which is okay to me. I do want to finish up Duke Nukem 3D Megaton Edition on stream at some point, and then on Friday or over the weekend or something, I do want to do that Ghost of Tsushima raid, whether it's just the first chapter or all 3 chapters. I do want to do that and get that knocked out. Now, if I am able to get done the New Game Plus and Ghost of Tsushima before the raid comes out, what am I going to be playing? I believe like Watch Dogs Legion is coming out this week. This is something I want to talk about in this video. In relation to that, so I don't know if I'm going to be, picking that up. I think that Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remaster, I don't know when that comes out, but I don't know if I'll be playing that day one. that is one of my favorite, PS3 Need for Speed games. So I'm actually really happy that they remastered it, but I don't know when I'll be playing it. But I think what I'm going to be doing after I finish up Ghost of Tsushima is I'm going to be working on, I'm going to probably try to get Tomb Raider on the PS3 done just to get it done. And then I do want to get back to my alternating schedule of games of Hitman and Star Wars. So I will be jumping into Hitman Blood Money next on the PlayStation 3. So that should be kind of interesting. There's a few other PS3 multiplayer games that I want to start working through or doing stuff like that. One of them being Enemy Front, which you can see right here. Another one being BioShock 2, possibly Red Faction Guerrilla. There's a few things that I've been talking about, mainly with Cat's Grid Autosport. So there's a few games that I've been talking about doing with Cats because we've been trying to knock out some of these like really annoying PS3 multiplayer games that are kind of just sitting there, not really doing anything. And I just don't want the servers to go down and then never be able to do the games when it comes down to it. So that's really what I plan on playing in the upcoming week. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull up the comments, if I can, from the last trophy talk. But before I do that, I do want to talk about something. Hold on. I do want to talk about something that I did just bring up. So that being, if I can figure out how to work okay. That being Watch Dogs Legion coming out, I believe this week. I'm not really sure because I've not been keeping up with it. So basically, what I'm a little bit angry about, and I guess angry is the word, and then I kind of got into like what's going to be happening with this. So anyway, I pre-ordered Watch Dogs Legion like years ago because I was excited for the game, and it kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed, and now it's finally coming out. But it's also coming out for the PS5, which is a bit annoying because I pre-ordered the game years ago when you were first able to pre-order it. And when they were promising the game to come out, like, it was so annoying. So anyway, I guess what I'm trying to get at is, what is going to be happening with the PS5 and the PS4? Because if you guys remember, when it was in between the PS3 and PS4 life cycle, and they were releasing games that were new on the PS4 or, something like that, they were double released. So you had games like, I can bring up right here, and most of them were Ubisoft games that I'm thinking about, but you had a game like Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag that was released on the PS4 and the PS3. You had games like Far Cry 4, which was released on the PS3 and the PS4. Same game, different trophy list, released on the PS3 and the PS4. So I guess what I'm trying to get at is, how is it going to work with the PS5? Because, Watch Dogs Legion is technically coming out on the PS4, and then they're also going to allow you to upgrade to the PS5 version for free. A lot of the games are going to be doing that are kind of in between the cycle. But is it going to get a new list? Because the PS5 is going to be backwards compatible with nearly all PS4 games. So is there going to necessarily be a new trophy list? I don't know how that's going to work. So it's going to be interesting to kind of find out, because there are a few games that I'm really looking forward to playing, that being like Watch Dogs Legion, Dirt 5, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Sadly, I'm kind of excited for it. There's games that I'm excited for that I'm not sure if they're going to release, if they come out on the PS4, or are they going to release on the, they're obviously going to release on the PS5, but how's the whole trophy system going to work between them? Obviously, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you guys know that I'm going to double up on that if it's able, or if I'm able to, but, Watch Dogs Legion, do I really want to do that, or do I just wait to play the PS5 version? Dirt 5, I would probably double up on Dirt 5 because I really like the Dirt games. So it just leaves me in this like thought of like, what is going to happen with trophy lists with the whole backwards compatibility going down? Obviously, if you have a game like, Red Dead Redemption 2 that came out during the PS4's life cycle and you played on the PS5, Obviously it's just going to keep the PS4 list, but the games that are kind of really, really close to that threshold of when the new console is going to be released, is there going to be a double trophy, list for it? Because there's going to be an actual release, like physical release for a PS5 version of the game. I guess that's the main thing, is the physical PS5 release going to then say that there's going to be a new trophy list, or is it going to be something here like Duke Nukem 3D Megaton Edition where it's a shared trophy list between, well, here it's the PS3 and PS Vita, which is kind of weird, but is it going to be a shared trophy list like that? I mean, I feel like that could have been done for other games, but is that how it's going to be handled? So I'm not really sure. That's what I'm kind of looking forward to. And again, I'm kind of annoyed because, like I said, I was really looking forward to I was going to say Assassin's Creed, but I mean, I kind of am every year, but it's since last year I've been, well, but Watch Dogs Legion, I've been, I've had the game pre-ordered for years. I've been looking forward to it, and it keeps getting delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed, and now it's coming out on the PS4 literally right before the PS5 is releasing. Kind of a scum move. But anyway, let's get into some of these comments on the last trophy talk. So starting off, we have Micro Sam, who says, I don't care about the change of the trophy level system. I play games to play games. Doesn't matter if it has a platinum trophy or not, and the level will rise naturally. Couldn't agree with you anymore. Not sure where the whole trophy change thing came from, why they decided to up levels and change points, because they've been doing it the same way ever since the PS3 came out with the ability to collect trophies. So I'm not really sure, but I couldn't agree with you anymore. It doesn't really matter what the progression system is. We're going to play games and it will naturally rise, and hopefully people will play games that they enjoy. That's a whole different topic, but hey, it be what it be. Next up, we have James Raccoon. Hi, great video. Been watching your trophy talk for years now. Wait, it's been years? I've been doing this for years. It doesn't even feel like it. Maybe I should go back and look at that. I think I've been doing it since 2018. So yeah, it's been years. Holy cow. Wait, yeah, where does the time go? You said it right there. Just wanted to say, started a new account about 6 months ago after a few years away from gaming due to life, but finally came back after, and I have 14 platinums for games I wanted to play, like Knack, Darksiders 1, and Batman Arkham Asylum. Having respect and fun in the games I play is worth more than an easy peasy platinum. Just play what you want to play, and the amount of plats isn't as important as the fun. I mean, yes, that hits the nail on the head. The numbers don't matter anymore. To be fair, back when trophy hunting did start, when it was starting out, and back in like 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, really before the PS4 came out, numbers were a big thing. If you saw someone with a lot of platinums, they typically played a lot of games and did a lot of things. That's because you couldn't just platinum a game in 15 minutes. The fastest it took to platinum a game was 4 hours, playing games like, Hannah Montana or Terminator Salvation, or, these were games that were easy that still required you to play the game. So numbers were kind of a big thing, but nowadays they're not. So I couldn't agree anymore. Just play what you want to play and have fun. Mr. Trippy says, nice trophy talk. Always a good listen. Mad Max stuff has been great this week. Glad I could help out. That game is going down soon. I keep forgetting about that. So this is a good question. This one had me, I saw this question when it was posted, when this man Christopher posted it, and it really made me think a little bit. So this isn't the first time I'm reading this, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to formulate my thoughts because I didn't write anything down. So Christopher Thornton asks, if Sony came to you and said, okay, you're a respected trophy hunter and we want to improve the service, how would you improve it, and what would you implement, bring to the table? So, again, I saw this question and I did think about it. So one of the first things that I would bring to the table, from a trophy hunting standpoint, not from a business standpoint, from a trophy hunting standpoint, I would tell them that there cannot be region stacks of games unless there is a physical change in the game. Whether it is something that is narrative driven, whether it's something like, for instance, I believe in one of the Wolfenstein games, or Hitler didn't have a mustache on the German. If it's something that physically is changed, then it can have its own region stack. But if it doesn't have a physical change like that, it cannot have a region stack. And that would come from a trophy hunting perspective, not a business perspective. That'd be the first thing I would do. The next thing I would probably do is, from here on out, there wouldn't be stacks of games. So, for instance, I know I was just talking about this, but between the PS3 and the PS4, you could play Far Cry 4 2 times. You had a PS3 list and a PS4 list. I would say no. It has one list. You have a list, and it's shared between the PS3 and PS4. End of the day. That's what it writes. So that's something else that I would change. And then another thing that I would change, which is just more, I think this would be harder to implement because they would have to do some sort of tracking for this, and they would have to probably use like an external site, because I think it would be hard with their stats. But I think I hit on this in the last video. I would change the system to where the points for trophies are dynamic. So what I mean by that is, let's say you get a bronze trophy, but it's an ultra rare. It's worth 50 points. But if you get a bronze trophy that's just, a common, it's only worth 10 points. And then if you get a silver that is a common, it's worth 50 points. But if you get a silver that's an ultra rare, it's worth 100 points or something. So basically, the silver trophy in and of itself can have multiple point values depending on what the rarity is, because what that would do is it would just stop people from playing easy peasy games. Because if every platinum that you're getting is a common platinum and it's worth a tenth of what a ultra rare platinum is worth, maybe people will go for the ultra rare platinums, which again can mess with the statistics. But I feel like it would be more satisfying when you platinum games that are, more rare, because there isn't really anything other than, instant, self gratification when you get a more rare platinum. There's no number backing it up other than a number on PSN profiles. There's no value to it that backs it up, towards your profile, other than saying like, hey, I have this sub 1%. It's really like the only thing you can say. So I think those are the first few things that I would change. And again, this would not be from their perspective of a business perspective. This would be from the perspective of a trophy hunter. Because again, there is a business perspective, which is what they're running now, where they just let, these companies run rancid with multiple region stacks of games. And, to be fair, Sony doesn't care. It makes them money. They're a business. It makes them money. So they'll just let them keep doing it. Same thing when it comes to releasing games on multiple consoles. If you release it on multiple consoles and they have multiple different lists, you're going to sell the game multiple times, more or less sometimes. So you have more of an audience to pull from. So the thing is, I think the number for that one is so minimal that you wouldn't even really see a game, or you wouldn't really see a change, not a game. You wouldn't see a change. So you could kind of neglect the change there. But I think those are the three big things that I would initially change. If I had a few weeks to think about this and it was a legitimate thing, I think I could come up with some more ideas. But those would be the three that I would start off with. No more region stacks, in case you don't know what three I'm talking about. No more region stacks. No more system stacks. So shared trophy lists for everything, basically, unless the game has a physical change that requires it to have a different region release, and it affects the trophies, then it can get another list. And the list has to be different. It cannot be identical. It has to be different. I don't think I mentioned that before, but that would be like the stipulation to the region stack. If you release it in a different region, it would physically have to be different, and the trophy list would have to physically be different as well. And the third one being the change to the point system, having dynamic trophy values for the point system. Next up, we have Zashbay. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I'm so sorry. What's your opinion on the Hitman 1 and Hitman 2 trophy list situation? You basically have to do everything you did in Hitman 1 for the 100% all over in Hitman 2. I did Hitman 100% in 2017, and now I'm working on Hitman 2 100%, and I'm basically doing the whole first game again. I don't mind it with some missions, but other missions are straight up bullshit. As much as I love these games, I feel kind of lazy and recycled to add the same achievements again with no changes whatsoever. I'm curious to see if Hitman 3 does the same, and if you have to redo Hitman 1 and 2 for that 100%. I hope you're able to understand what I'm saying, since English isn't your first language. So no, I completely understand what you're saying here. So basically what you're saying is, what do you think about Hitman 2 basically having the Hitman 1 trophy list inside of it with all the same levels, and having to basically redo Hitman 1 to do Hitman 2? I have to say that in that situation, it's sleazy. It's not acceptable. I don't think that that's acceptable for them to release a new game, a sequel to a game, and basically include the first game in it. Now, if you want to release Hitman 2 and you want to have Hitman 1 in the game, you can do that, but have that list live inside of that game. So when you play a level on Hitman 1, it's actually going to earn trophies from the Hitman 1 trophy list, and you don't have to add them to Hitman 2. A game that was like this, similar to this, was a Drive Club Bikes. So basically Drive Club Bikes was not its own application, if I remember correctly. It was an application that lived within Drive Club, the Drive Club application, but it had two separate trophy lists. But Drive Club Bikes also did not have, or it did have races that did not include bikes. They just included regular cars. So this was implemented in a way in Drive Club, so I think that that's more how it should be implemented with Hitman 2. If you want to include Hitman 1 within Hitman 2, go ahead and do it, but the fact that you're recycling the same exact levels and treating it as narrative towards the Hitman 2 story just doesn't really make sense. I think it should just be an application within an application, more or less, and you earn those trophies on the first game instead of the second game. But I don't think that they'll do that with the third one, and hopefully the third one will have a platinum trophy as well. That would be really useful. Few comments here from William Whitehead. I'm not sure if he was commenting on these, real time when I was talking about topics. If you want to do that, go right ahead, but just let me know where in the video you're referring to, because to be fair, I don't even remember this video 30 minutes after I uploaded where I talked about certain topics. So, basically, he made these are the few comments that were made. It doesn't bother me because I don't have a whole lot of time to put into a game because I have a lot of responsibilities. Yeah, I mean, we all have responsibilities, so, that depends on what games you play. And to be fair, if you have a lot of if any of us have a lot of responsibilities and you want to go, platinum a game like Far Cry 2, you can do it. It's just going to take you months, years maybe. So it is what it is. You like Brian, you think he's awesome. Subjective. Leave it at that. I got the game Mayo because PlayStation did not come with a game and it's all you could afford. Okay. My walkthroughs are helpful. Thank you very much. Can't thank you enough for that one. And that's about it. So again, I don't mind if people leave multiple comments on the video for multiple different topics. Just let me know what, just you can write in the comments what time it is in the video and I can refer back to it, because I am kind of lost when there's like 5 comments left on. So my apologies, but just, moving forward, we can try that. A comment from the Soul Survivor 5, aka Andrew. Can we do White Noise 2 again? Yeah, let me check something. Yeah, I got the platinum, so I can't do it again. Sorry. It's gonna be a hard no from me. Sorry. Oh my gosh. I don't know how to pronounce this name. Ero or Erica? I guess that's how you're gonna go with it, Erica. Sorry, I'm sorry. Very cool trophy discussion. Totally agree with you about why people bother spending money on bad games just to get these easy trophies, plats. But then I got curious, and you check my PSN profiles, and I have my name is Mayo. trying to do a little bit of an expose here. I did reply to this comment in the comments. So basically the explanation behind this, and I do have easy games. Don't get me wrong. So the reason why I have My Name is Mayo is it was at the time that it came out, it was kind of like a staple trademark to do the game just because it was such a big meme to do the game. It was really the first game ever released where you could literally get the platinum in 30 minutes and all you had to do was tap a button. So everybody was doing it just because it was like, oh, this is kind of like, it's kind of cool. Like it wasn't an experience. Like imagine it. Like, it was something that was never ever done before. And now it was kind of, it was brought into the store and now it's abused day after day. But at the time it was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. You know, I could go for this every once in a while. But that's why I have games like My Name is Mayo. I have a lot of, I'm not going to say a lot. I have a few other easy games, and I do also own some easy games like Full Blast or Bird Game Plus, or, you know, just stupid games like that where, you know, if you look at it, you're going to say, yeah, that's a trophy horror game. But when I do them, I don't stack them. It's just one time, you know, and I'm not playing necessarily for the trophies. I am playing to experience the game. That's kind of how My Name is Mayo was. It has this backing to it where it is an easy platinum and you know you're going to get an easy platinum out of it. But it's kind of just experiencing what the game has to offer. Like My Name is Mayo was like, hey, you can dress up a mayo jar, and it's like, what the fuck does that even mean? And then you play it and you're like, this is so stupid. So that's why I have Mayo on the list and other games. And in the future you may see easy games pop up on the list, but I don't do them more than one time. I didn't do Mayo on the Vita, you know, I could have, but I didn't. So I only do them one time, experience it, and kind of throw it away and call it a day. With that being said, how many people heard about the My Name is Mayo 2 game that possibly could be coming out? I'm going to laugh my ass off if that game comes out and it's nearly impossible to get the platinum. Like they add some absurd stuff into the game. I will laugh my ass off. I will laugh. It will be the best day of my life. Not really. The best time of that day. That's what it'll be. But that's all the comments from the last trophy talk or discussions. So if you guys want me to discuss any topics and then any of these upcoming trophy talks, do leave them in the comments of this one and I will cover them in the next one. And that's what it'll be. Like I said, if you have specific points that you're trying to hit on, just leave a timestamp of when I was talking about whatever, and then just let me know. One more thing. So I guess there's a few more things I want to cover. Not really anything too crazy. So one thing that I want to cover is there's something being worked on behind the scenes for something. And I will not divulge any information about it, but I do think it will be something that people will like. It's being worked on behind the scenes right now. Hopefully by December, mid-November, December, it will be a consistent thing that will be happening every week, but something is being worked on behind the scenes. I will leave it at that. That's what I'll leave it at. Little teaser. I guess the only other thing to cover is just the stuff leaving the video here. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you have any comments or anything, do leave them down below. Again, if you have any topics that you want me to discuss, you can also leave those down in the comments below as well. I will discuss them in the next trophy talk, hopefully next week. If you want to follow me on any of my social medias, that is all linked down in the description below. There's my Twitter, my Twitch. You can find my playlist for my platinum trophies and my Discord server. So if you want to go follow me on any of those things or join any of those things or view any of those videos, you can see all that stuff down in the description below. It's all linked down there. Like I said, if you have any questions or comments, do leave that down in the comments below. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like. If you've made it this far and you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing for more trophy content like this. And I hope to see you all around sometime soon.